Hi guys, this is GSMDome and I'm here with the unboxing of the HUAWEI Mate X6 foldable phone. It's the current flagship from HUAWEI when it comes to foldables. It's supposed to compete with the likes of the Galaxy Z Fold 6, maybe even the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is a handset that comes with a very slim waistline. Well, not as slim as the Honor Magic V3, but pretty close. I mean, who can tell the difference between 4.6 millimeters and 4.3 millimeters? Here we have a 4.6 millimeter foldable phone. Now, as usual for Huawei and its foldables, they're giving us something extra when it comes to the camera. We have, for example, the 4x optical zoom and a special chroma camera with the ability to capture extra colors from the spectrum of colors thanks to a dedicated sensor. Now, it's an unboxing, so let's see what's in the box. The price here is, I would say, pretty hefty, but it's a flagship, so yeah. How hefty? 2,000 euros. That's how much you're paying for this handset in Europe. This is the case, which has this little prop-up thingy. You can use it to watch movies by propping up the phone like this. Seems to be more of a closed affair than an open affair, if you ask me. And seeing the price tag and the size of the box, I would be shocked if there's not a charger here. Especially since Huawei phones are usually charging up pretty fast. And speaking of Huawei phones, I can't shake the feeling, especially after seeing the red version of this phone, that it feels like a shorter and a smaller version of the Huawei Mate X3 triple fold handset. It's not a triple fold, this one, but it's a dual fold, which feels like a smaller version of that one. Here we have the key used to access the slots, and here we have the cable going from USB-C to USB-A. And finally, the charger, 66 watts and USB-A connector. That's everything available inside the box. Now let's actually talk about the device itself. So it was unveiled in Dubai in a global launch event with the Huawei Nova 13 series, and we got the elegant black version covered with a sort of leather fiber at the backside. Now you can find it in red or black. I prefer the red version, which is very elegant, and the design of the camera module is inspired by the space age design. It's actually very cool looking. It's a bit like a dome if you look at it closely. It's a pretty smart and pretty elegant design. It doesn't feel like the Huawei watches as some other camera designs have before. And let's take it one at a time. So here we have Kunlun Glass, second generation, reinforcing the external screen, while at the back side we can have that eco leather or a special sort of fiber. We have here an aluminum frame, aeronautics, aerospace aluminum, which is more resilient. The phone has IPX8 certification. You can sink it in water for up to 2 meters, up to 30 minutes, and it should survive. It measures 4.6 millimeters when it's open, and it measures 9.9 millimeters when it's closed, which is still not bad, even compared to a regular phone. Weighs a decent 234 grams, which, by the way, is the exact same weight as the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. It closes with the aid of magnets, and it feels pretty comfy on account of it being, I would say, more angular and squarish around the edges, making it easier to grip, even with a single hand. So it's perfect with two hands. It's also great with a single hand, because it fits in your palm thanks to its angular parts. Okay, so that's about it. Pretty solid build, and there's an interesting thing here. Below the screen panel, there is a plate made of carbon fiber for extra toughness. And the hinge we have here includes steel elements and a special slide rail. So that's pretty cool. Now let's talk about the screens. So first of all, inner screen, we're dealing with a 7.93 incher here, a foldable OLED LTPO, 2040 over 2440 pixel resolution, shows 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR vivid support, 1800 nits of brightness. And then we go to the cover screen, the external one, which is a 6.45 incher LTPO OLED, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR, and apparently even brighter, 205,000 nits of brightness. Resolution is 2440 over 1080 pixels. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. The outer screen can take drops from up to 1.2 meters and still continue to survive, unscratched and undamaged. Now, inside the phone, there is a processor we actually know compared to other Huawei phones out there. This one is a Kirin 9020 with a graphene sheet for cooling. It's an octa-core chip also present on the HUAWEI Mate 70 series. It's accompanied by 12 gigs of RAM as well as 512 gigabytes of storage, but there's also a version with 256 or even 1 terabyte. The battery is a 5110 mAh unit with 66 watts wired charging, 50 watts wireless charging, and even 7.5 watts reverse wireless charging, plus 5 watts reverse wire charging. You can use this as a big power bank, charge up other phones and headphones wirelessly by putting them on the surface. For security, we have a side-placed fingerprint scanner here in the power button, and you also have stereo speakers. You can see one of them here. You can see the other one here. Interesting placement, so you will not cover them when you hold the phone like this and you're gaming. One of them is definitely left uncovered. Now, aside from that, we also have an infrared emitter here at the top side. We have a 4G plus connectivity. We don't have 5G because Huawei doesn't have access to the 5G modem. There's an infrared USB-C 3.1 with the DisplayPort 1.2. You can output the video signal. We have Wi-Fi 6, we have Bluetooth 5.2 and GPS dual band. Now, as far as the camera setup is concerned, there's an 8 megapixel camera cut here in the screen for your selfies, f2.2 aperture, and another 8 megapixel camera here in a very small hole in the external screen, f2.2 aperture again. Excuse me, actually this one is f2.4 aperture, both with 4K capture. Now, moving towards the back side, let's talk about the main camera. There's a lot of things happening here. We have a 50 megapixel main sensor with a variable aperture from f1.4 to f4.0 with stabilization, optical image stabilization, and PDAF. There's also a 48 megapixel telephoto periscope camera with 4x optical zoom and f3.0 aperture, plus PDAF and optical image stabilization, and also a 40 megapixel ultra wide camera with autofocus and 120-degree capture. Here somewhere, have a laser focus and a color spectrum sensor, plus we have this LED flash, dual LED flash, and the X-Mage technology, which replaced Leica when Huawei ended that partnership. We also have HDR vivid capture and a lot of camera modes, possibly the most I've seen on a foldable with a large screen. Okay, so in the more section, you can find things like slow-mo, panorama, light painting. There's also time-lapse, stickers, documents, super macro, dual view, high-resolution story creator, aperture, and multicam. In the Pro, you can also use raw file capture. You can tweak white balance, focus, exposure, shutter, aperture, ISO, and metering. This is the video section. You can go up to 4K 60 frames per second filming. And let's see what else we have here. There is also this option of tracking shot for subjects moving in front of you, and of course steady shot for improved stabilization. This is the photo section where you can also get the benefit of AI, and you can also employ the external screen when doing your capture. And then you can go back to the regular mode. Okay, now aside from that, we have the portrait, which should include a few options like original, vivid, and bright. This is basically from the X-Mage thing. There are filters which back in the day used to be Leica, and now they're X-Mage. Or yeah, X-Mage, that's the branding here. There's also snapshot for fast moving objects, and finally night mode with its own shade of bright, vivid, or original capture. Keep in mind that we have a special chroma sensor here. It's called Ultra Chroma Camera. It captures 1.5 million spectral details, spectral characteristics, and it collects more color data compared to other cameras out there. That's the core. You're getting more color information compared to other handsets out there. That's why some of these shots look this amazing, because the color palette is much wider than on other phones. By the way, pretty nifty macros. So these are some, I would say, teasers for the review, which is about to come. The phone is actually promoted a lot to that whole chroma camera thing. It's one of its selling points. Now, as far as the interface is concerned, this is Emotion UI 15.0, and it includes multitasking, obviously. So if you're in this app and you pull from the side, you can split the screen in two, and you should also be able to split it in three if you want to. You can resize windows, you can swap them between themselves, and you can combine windows like you want to. Of course, there's that so-called flex mode, so you can have this in the flex mode. You can also do some photo editing like this with the options here. And you can also employ it in the web browser like this. You have the content at the top and the keyboard at the bottom. Perhaps a more useful way of showing this feature to you is this one. As you're typing at the bottom, things appear at the top side. You can also do the editing like a Sony Vaio or Nokia communicator from back in the day. Those are some examples of how the flex screen works. So you saw the multitasking. We also have this dock area here with the most commonly used apps and the latest used apps. Of course, we also have these applications here, which can be triggered in the form of a floating window, which can be overlapped above the split screen, as I mentioned before. Here in this area, there are the quick settings. There's super device, where you can view other interconnected Huawei gear, which you have lying around. And here, let's see what we have. This is the super device, which I mentioned. This is the customization area with some very beautiful themes and always on display. And if you're using Swish, you can play basketball and throw balls using the front camera of the phone. Okay, you also have Emoji Crush, which is a very animated theme. Check it out. So this is what your phone will look like when you're using this lock screen or background. It's pretty cool, but it can use a bit too much battery. These are the display options. This is the biometrics and password. We also have the Huawei Assistant with AI features like AI voice, lens, touch, tips, search, and today. Okay, now, as far as the app gallery is concerned, there are here over 200,000 applications. And if you want to get in touch with your Google things, you just have to start downloading things like Chrome, Gmail, YouTube, things like that. So you download one of them, a micro G gets automatically installed, you log into your Google account on one of the apps, and then you're logged in into all of the apps, including YouTube, Maps, and so forth. And courtesy of Gbox, you can also reach the Play Store and install your much used HBO, Netflix, shopping applications, Disney Plus, and more with ease. So yeah, that's that. Okay, I would say this is pretty much it as far as the phone is concerned. It has one of the most promising cameras I've seen recently on a foldable. There's also some AI features here which I have yet to discover. There's a lot of things to edit here. And this has all the chance to be the best camera on a foldable in recent years. And it's all about the colors. That Chroma camera is definitely not a lie and not just marketing, but more about that when it comes to the review. So this has been the unboxing of the HUAWEI Mate X6, a rival worthy of Honor Magic V3 and Galaxy Z Fold 6, even though it doesn't have as much AI or a stylus. That's it from us. Goodbye.